Let's begin with those spring storms and flood warnings up and down the East Coast. The Weather Channel's Mike Seidel is in Cranston, Rhode Island with more on this story. Mike, good morning.
Good morning, Ann. The rain is still pouring down. We've already set records in Boston and Providence, the wettest Marches on record. Here in Providence now, over 13 inches of rain. The Pawtuxet River winds behind these homes. You can see these houses already surrounded by water. 2 hours ago, the water was over by that boat. Look how much it's come up. And now it's coming at us from both directions. In about 10 minutes, when we finish with this, we're going to have to pull back for safety. The other thing we're concerned with is another 2 to 3 inches of rain on what has already fallen today and tonight. And with that, the river will come up at least another 2.5 feet. These residents were evacuated 2 weeks ago, and now they've already have left for higher ground this morning, as the river will crest at least a foot higher, as Matt mentioned, or even higher, depending on how much rain we get. This is going to wind down this morning, but I want to show you how fast this water is rushing. The river is back there, but it's also coming around the back way, and look how fast the water is rushing down this road. So again, the whole neighborhood's going to be underwater. Everybody's heading for the hills. We've already had at least 100 evacuations in this area as the rain continues. The payback, Ann, is by the end of the week and for Easter weekend, the entire Northeast will be basking in sunshine and 70-degree weather. But it's been one for the record books over the past few weeks.
Well,
back to you.
For the moment, it's such a mess. Okay, the Weather Channel's Mike Seidel, thank you so much for reporting.
Records being broken. Some stand out. In Philadelphia, for example, a one-year record for rainfall, 62.2 inches. That is more than 5 feet, not of snow, but of rain. It's amazing. And back
All right, Mike Taibbi, thanks so much. The Weather Channel's Mike Seidel is in hard-hit Cranston, Rhode Island this morning. Mike, good morning to you.
Good morning, Ann. Behind me is the Pawtuxet River. It has taken out 4 to 5 city blocks. You're looking across the Elmwood Street Bridge into Warwick, Rhode Island. You can't find the bridge. It's been engulfed. Their crest now a record-setting 20.67 feet. It's still rising, an amazing 12 feet above flood stage and 5.5 feet higher than just a couple weeks ago. It's also shut down part of I-95. Neighborhoods surrounding this area around the bridge have been evacuated, 200 homes, some for the second time in 2 weeks. This time around, the water is much higher. Water now not only in basements, but in first floor of homes. And in nearby Warwick, 100 businesses have flooded, and they've been cleared out. Take back to yesterday, heavy rainfall, rushing water everywhere. Look at the pictures across southern New England. 3 storms, unprecedented, 3 storms in about 3 weeks. They've never seen that kind of action this time of the year in the cold weather season. On Monday, it was tropical moisture coming up from the Bahamas. On Tuesday, another coastal low. Fortunately, this one did not have a lot of wind with it, thus the power outage situation we dealt with in mid-March was not a concern. Sunspots getting as much as 10 inches of rain here in Providence now, the wettest March on record. Over 16 inches of rain, 4 times their average, and they picked up 9 inches of rain in just the past couple of days. The rain is over, but many residents here are wondering when their 40 days and 40 nights in March will come to an end. This morning, Ann, late word that a sewage treatment plant has failed in nearby Warwick. That's sending sewage into the nearby bay. Meanwhile, this river will crest later this morning, but will not go below flood stage until sometime after Easter Sunday. Back to you, Ann.
The Weather Channel's Mike Seidel. Mike, thanks so much. Boy, it looks like the rescuers are doing a good job there.
They're trying their best. Mike says the rain is over in Cranston, Rhode Island. Let's find out when it's going to be over for everyone in this area. NBC meteorologist Bill Cairns is in for Al this morning. Hi, Bill. What can you tell us?
The March Lion continues to spin. This storm actually hasn't moved away. It's actually weakened right over the top of New England. You can still see it spinning here. Just light rain.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, all of those at home. President Obama has issued an emergency declaration for Rhode Island following record-setting rain and the worst flooding there in more than 100 years. The Weather Channel's Mike Seidel is in Cranston, Rhode Island. Mike, good morning. The rain, I understand, is easing there, but the problems certainly are not over.
Not by a long shot. The rain has finally shut down. Even some sunshine this morning, but look at behind me. This is the Pawtuxet River separating here in Cranston across the river. That's the other side in the parts of Rhode Island where the river has come up now to 20.76 feet. That's an all-time crest now, 12 feet above flood stage, and it's still coming up. It's come up another inch over the past couple of hours. Let me take you back to yesterday and Monday. Heavy rainfall. That's why we've had unprecedented flooding. Historic totals here in Providence. We had 9 inches of rain in 2 days, over 16 inches so far in March, now the wettest month on record, and that has forced residents out of their homes, some for the second time in 2 weeks. The bad news is, even though the sun is back out, Tamara, and the rain has stopped, it's going to take until at least early next week before these floodwaters come back down. This morning, many roads and bridges were shut down, including a stretch of Interstate 95. So that's going to affect not only local traffic, but also through traffic across parts of southern New England. Tamara, back to you.
Mike, thank you. And today, President Obama is saying the government will allow offshore oil drilling 50 miles off the coast of Virginia, reversing a long-standing ban on most